So we're back over at the counter, and I have the sausage mixture on top of the crushed crackers. I'm going to mix this up a little bit. The sausage has come off the stove and it's pretty hot. And again, just trying to be conscious of the fact we're going to be adding some eggs to this. This kind of gets it all mixed up a little bit, and it also kind of cools down the sausage a little so that the eggs will not cook. This will take me a couple seconds to get this all done. And I think that that's good. Let me get down to the bottom and get the whole thing mixed. And now at this point, we want to add 2 eggs. Marge, can you get set up and crack them in?
The eggs.
I'll keep stirring as we go along.
Okay.
And I'm kind of breaking the yolk as it goes in, and I'll mix that around. And I think the milk will end up moving the egg through the entire stuffing mix. But for right now, that's just about right. Okay. Now, we have probably the most critical step coming next. We're going to use some of the milk that's deglazed the pan. The only directions we can give you is that at the end of this, it has to end up looking like your morning oatmeal. So the key here again, not too hot on the milk, and you have to do it a little bit at a time, and you stir just to get it to the right consistency. I'm getting there, dear. I'm getting there. How about a little bit more on the far side where it's a little bit drier? There we go. Now, if we run out of milk in the pan, we will be able to turn around and take some of the regular milk and put it in. But this is kind of like getting some of the flavoring from the sausage and celery and onion mixture and putting it back into the stuffing mix.
A little bit more, I think. Yep.
How do you know when it's too much and kind of what the morning oatmeal looks like? It's really kind of a matter of feel and a little bit of experience on this part. If you had to guess, you want to be a little bit on the drier side than the wet side. I think we can use all of that. I think. Now, it's probably going to be, tilt this forward a little bit. It's probably going to be a little bit hard to see on camera, but you can definitely feel with the large spoon that it's kind of loosened up a little bit, and it's just like if I had a giant bowl of oatmeal and I was dipping my spoon in for my breakfast. So that's good. That's just about right. Okay. Now at this point we can add some seasonings. I think that's our next step, correct?
It is correct to add some spices.
So a little bit of pepper. We have our fancy ground pepper maker. And this is just a taste. So I'm going to put a little bit in, about like that. Mix that up just a little bit. And then the final seasoning is the Bell's poultry seasoning. Now, one of the cautions we have on this is that you don't want to go too nuts with this. Just a little bit will do you fine. If you do overshoot it, then you have a strong flavor of the mix that makes up the Bell's all through your turkey. So I'm going to say, what, about a half a teaspoon?
Yeah.
I'm doing that in my hand. About like that?
Yep.
I think maybe just a little bit more.
Yep, I think that would be good.
Can you get that?
Yep.
The stove is calling us and saying that something's ready in the oven. So I'm going to keep mixing that. And that's what it looks like in the bowl. You okay there, Marsh?
Yep.
You coming back over for the final sequences here, or are you gonna stay over? Do you need to stay over there?
I will be. Okay.
So this is about the amount of mixture that it would take for a 10 to 13 pound bird. I guess technically if it's cooked inside the bird, it's stuffing. If it's cooked outside the bird, it's dressing. So we've done it both ways. This particular, get the beeps here. And what we'll be able to do with that is, after we get done, we're going to transfer this to a bowl and bake it. The differences are, in my opinion, maybe you'll agree or disagree, if you put it inside the bird, then it makes it a little bit wetter and a little bit juicier because the fat from the bird gets in the dressing, and that's probably the best. But we're trying a different way of doing our turkey this year, and we're going to cook it outside the bird just so we have it. It's good, it's great, but inside the bird's best. If you wanted to double this recipe, if you had a large family-sized bird, 18 to 20 pounds, you would double everything, except you would only use 3 eggs and just use a large onion rather than a medium onion, and that's the way you would do it. So what do you think there, dear?
I think we're ready for our dressing. If you decide that you want to cook your dressing in the oven, put it in a pan, about 9 by 13 pan, or even a casserole dish. Cook it for about 35 to 40 minutes. Yum! And enjoy!
Thanks everybody for watching our video. In a couple of seconds you're going to see an address to a web page. The actual recipe does appear online in an old blog post I did a while back. So if you're looking for the ingredients, that can be there. And let's call everybody over here just for one last thing. Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas! Need to have your onion goggles when you're chopping onions.